opening scene of the film, we see a young girl who had come to a cabin in the jungle to spend holidays with her family. When she was playing outside, a man comes to her and talks to her. After talking for a while, he says that he has come here for a very important work, a work that can save the world. Actually, this little girl was adopted by two friends. Those two friends loved each other a lot. They couldn't live without each other. That's why they adopted this child, so that they can live a good life. That man was talking to the little girl but was looking in the jungle again and again. Then we see three more people coming who had strange weapons in their hands. The little girl was very scared to see them. She runs and goes to her cabin where her two dads were, about whom I have already told you. She tells both about that man and those people who were coming from the jungle. Both of them get very scared after hearing this. That man had come out with his friends and stood up, and tells them to open the door. But both the dads of that child were very scared to see them and tell them to go away from there. But that man was also saying again and again for his important work that he should let them in because he has to talk to them very importantly. But Andrew and Eric were both very scared. Andrew didn't even have his gun, which was left outside in his car. And the biggest thing was that the people outside had weapons. But still they were telling him to open the door again and again. Go away from here, otherwise we will call the police. But there was no signal here and no landline. These people had also spoiled the phone wire, who were telling them to come in again and again. When they had no other way, they break the door with their weapons and come inside. Andrew and Eric attack them. But the strange thing was that those people were not attacking them. And in this fight, Eric also gets a head injury. So one of them, a lady, helps him. She says that he is a nurse. That means he is a man, and the people who were with him, they did not come to harm him. Eric was conscious, and that's when we get to know about Eric's old life here, where for the first time he introduced Andrew to his mom and dad. But they did not like this relationship, but they could not live without each other. That's why they got separated, and today they were together. Anyway, let's come back to the present story. When Eric comes to his senses, 4 people had tied them up, and his daughter, little girl, was also standing next to him. They tell all 4 of them that we have come here for a very important work, and that's when we chose this path, and there are going to be a lot of difficulties ahead. One of the 3 of you will have to save people by giving your life. Now the 4 of them stand together and tell them their purpose and work. A lady starts. She says that I am a nurse in a city far away from California, and I have come to you with all my savings. Then the other man tells that the first little girl he met says that I am a teacher, and I have a bar too. On the 3rd number, another of his friends says that he works in a gas company. There is a small worker there. He was very bad before, and he used to work upside down, but now he is fine, and he is trying to correct his mistake. Then on the 4th number, the lady says that he is a chef in a hotel. Understanding all this, Eric thinks that these people belong to some religion, and his father has sent them here to him. Being with him like this, he has come to separate them. The leader of those people says that the first little girl he met says that all this is your wrong thinking. We have come here for a special purpose. He says that there is going to be a huge apocalypse in the world. The whole world is going to end. But if one of the 3 of you sacrifices yourself, then all the upcoming disasters can stop. And you will have to do this yourself, by your own will. Without your will, no one can harm you. That is, no one can force you. The leader tells them that the 4 of us did not know each other, but we started dreaming about these disasters. That's when the 4 of us met, because we all had the same dreams. And yes, know this. If one of you does not sacrifice your life, then the 4 of us will die. But at the same time, the whole world will end. And if you survive, then you are only 3 people, in which you 2 and your daughter will be. Even if one of you sacrifices himself, then the whole world will be saved. The leader also says that first of all, rivers will drown, and water will spread destruction in the world. There will be floods from all sides. After that, a disease will spread which will kill people, and in the end, God will end this world. But after hearing all this, Andrew and Eric do not believe in these things, and they also refuse to sacrifice their lives. The leader says that if you do this, then all humanity will have to pay the price for it. Then his companion comes forward, who was wearing a white cloth on his face. He says that a part of humanity has been wasted, and with this, his other companions kill him. Seeing this, Andrew and Eric were very scared. Here we are also shown about the old life of these 2. where these two had adopted their daughter with great love. Now the leader shows them the TV, in which the news was being told that there were many earthquakes in the countries. Floods and tsunamis had also come in many places, because of which the people living on the shores of the sea had lost their lives. Andrew still did not believe in these things, but Eric was starting to believe a little bit. Then we are shown the flashback old scene, where Andrew and Eric were very happy with their daughter. They also started considering both of them as their parents, and all of them had come here to celebrate the holidays, but they did not know that this would be their last journey together. Anyway, now we come to the present again. The nurse ties a bandage on Eric's head, and says that all four of us had dreams about these disasters. And then we met together, and here we have also seen the way to come to you in our dreams. Then a little girl tries to run away from this cabin, so the leader catches her. Andrew tells her to understand what I am saying, but he was telling her here that your companion whom you killed, who used to work in the factory, he had a fight with me a long time ago, and I think he has come to take revenge from me here. The leader says that I do not know who he was, but he told all of us about these disasters, and after that we also started having dreams, and today we are on the right path. We just want to stop these disasters. Then he tells everyone to rest. Then that lady gives food to the little girl who was a chef, but the little girl cleverly gives a knife to Eric, and distracts them. Then that lady who was a chef says that the time has come for another disaster. I want to save my child, whom I have seen dying again and again in my dreams. You people listen to us. But still both do not listen to them. Then that lady is killed, which meant that her family was over. She also did not want to live now. The leader puts her dead body outside. Then after that he watches TV again, in which it was being told that a very big disease is spreading, where in many areas many people have died from this disease. Their one more dream had come true. Andrew says here that these are all old news. These people are lying. I don't know these news. What is going to happen and what will happen? But Eric was starting to believe their words a little bit, because the man he had seen dying before, he felt something here, as if there is some power behind them. Eric was thinking that these are the four, who have come to spread destruction in the world. These four have different powers. One has the power to bring tsunami, the other can bring war and disease. The third is of food here, which will bring insects in the world, which will destroy all the food in the world. And the fourth will bring death with him. But Eric's thinking was wrong here. He had made a strange story in his mind. In fact, these four had come to stop the destruction. That's why the little girl distracts him. She shouts loudly. Eric and Andrew were both free. Eric stops them inside, and outside Andrew goes to get his gun. When the nurse goes to him, he scares her with the gun. He goes outside to the dead body of the man, and takes out his ID card, who used to work in the gas factory. He shows it to the leader. Everything this man told you is wrong. He didn't even tell you his name is true. He came here to take revenge by controlling your minds. But the leader doesn't believe him. He says everything is true. When the nurse comes in front of Andrew, he accidentally shoots her, and their leader sacrifices her in the name of third humanity. Andrew thought this man was crazy. He locks him in the bathroom. Then he hears the sound of the nurse breaking, which made him feel that he ran away. But he was there. He attacks Andrew and snatches the gun from him. When they come to the hall, the news was on TV, that all the aeroplanes are falling into the water one by one, and are being destroyed. The people sitting in it also died. The news that the lady was giving was what the infast leader was saying. He knew all this in his dream, but Andrew was still not believing all this. But Eric was now starting to believe these things, because when he saw his first companion dying, then he saw a strange white light near him. Now it was time to judge the next humanity. That's why the leader gives his life. After which there were dark clouds in the world. It was getting dark everywhere. At the same time, the light was shining. Eric tells Andrew that one of us will have to make a sacrifice. One of us will have to give his life. Those four came here to us, to give us a message. We have to save humanity. Those four taught us different lessons. First of all, how to end hatred. Second, to care for people, taking care of them. While the third, the message of saving people. And the fourth, told us about all these things. Andrew says, why were we chosen for this work? Eric says, this is the reason. The love of the three of us. And I want you to raise our daughter well. That's why I have decided to sacrifice myself. And saying this, Eric gets himself shot by Andrew. Eric was now dead. Andrew comes out of the cabin with his daughter. The cabin was also completely burnt due to the lightning. That is, Eric's sacrifice was accepted. After going a little far, Andrew sees a car, which belonged to those 4 people. He had left it here for them. When he comes to town, he hears the news that a miracle has happened. All the destruction has stopped by itself. The planes that were destroyed have been repaired by themselves. And the lightning has also stopped. But the destruction that had happened had not been repaired. They had to live in this world now, which could never be as good as before, because it was not an ordinary thing to happen so much. And Eric sacrificed himself because of the white light he had talked about. In that, he had seen Andrew and his daughter, in which his daughter had grown up, and he was not with them. That's why he knew that he had to be sacrificed. At the end of the story, we see Andrew and his daughter, who had set out to live a new life with him. And with that, this film story ends here. I hope you like the story of this film very much. Like, share, and comment on this video. And yes, if you are new, then don't forget to subscribe the channel because we upload new movie recap videos daily. You're blinded by the light.